we're back on the 31 Ford today. Thought I'd get you caught up a little bit here. We chopped the top 2 inches, so we got to chop the door 2 inches to match. Well, I've got it cut down and tacked in place. We got everything that lines up on the inside for the window track, but nothing up here lines up. You can see it comes to a stop right here. So I put a slice here and then another one down in there. Let me get the light. What do I do with it? There it is. Down in there. So what we got to do now is pick this up so that it matches. So I put this slice in here, and we'll put a screwdriver on this side. And see, picks it right up. So I get it picked up, put a tack on it, tack on the other side, and then go to welding the slice back up. Then I'll do the same over on this side. You can see the difference there. So, now that I got it all prepped and ready to go, I'll put you up on your perch. It won't be quite as shaky that way. Maybe it will be. So, we got to clean off a spot for a ground, which we got right here. So that's no problem. What we're up to is we got it all welded here. This is all nice, and the window channel is good and straight now. Since we chopped the top, we had to weld it back together. Now, we got a gap here. This is low, and this is the original. So we got to bring this up to there. So in order to do that, you got to put a slot in it here, 4 to 5 inches long, and then another slot down in here. You put a screwdriver in there and turn the screwdriver, and it'll bring that up. So that I can weld that right there. We got to do the same over there. So now that we got that set up and ready to go, I'll drive that in there so it picks it up, get a spot weld on it. I got the ground hooked up, as you can see right there. Then we can tack it together, and I can tack this back together and that back together. You got the idea. All right, can put you up on your perch. There we go. For any of you that are interested, we're going to MIG weld it with the Millermatic 140. Little 110. Works good. So, the hammer. Not quite enough yet. That looks to be about right. So, I get my gloves, my helmet. Okay. Bring the torch over. Got your eyes. That takes care of that side. Now, gotta bring that up a little. Drive that in there. I said I would. I don't want to get down here. Beautiful. tries. Okay. Alright, we get that cleaned up, get it welded. Quite sure you don't want to watch the trials and tribulations of welding sheet metal. And I think I got my welder a little bit too hot, so we're going to turn that down while we're at it. Yeah, it never ends. Alright, that's the welded up on that side. It's not finished yet. I don't want to grind too much until I see what I gotta have. I got a little hole here, a little hole there. I gotta touch up. One there, one there. A little bit down here I gotta fill in. So that's just to get me in the ballpark, you might say. So I still gotta do a little work there. A little bit here. That's all I gotta do on this edge. A little spot right there I gotta fix. And right there. Other than that, that part's pretty much done. So now we'll turn it over and do the back side. I'll show you what that looks like when I get there. Hang in there. Don't let it throw you. I gotta finish welding here, down here, across here, and weld this all in. Right. Yeah, that one's gotta come out just a little bit. We'll get this tack first because it's nice. I don't worry about that. And this is good here. That was the reason for putting a long slit in it. So that if you put a short one, you can still do it. But the finished product gives it a dip like, and it just doesn't look right. So the longer the slit, the better off you are as far as matching things up and having a proper look at when you're done. So, we'll get this ready to go. I'll get a tack right here and put something in and pry that a little bit out there. It's not much, it's just enough to aggravate you, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like an ex-wife, just enough to aggravate you. Now let's see how much success we have this time. Okay. Using a screwdriver as a pry bar. Remember, improper use of hand tools. Some places will write you up there. Right there. Beautiful. Yep. All right. Now the fun begins. just had them. Shut your eyes. Now all I do is, when I start a weld, and then let off, I go to the next weld. I'm going to be, instead of where I was, I'm going to move it so the wire is right on the end of where our last bead was. So I'm on the last bead welding, but it'll make it go longer. You see what I do. Another thing I'm doing is letting it cool down, get rid of the red, the molten metal. Once that goes away, you can put another bead on it. Otherwise you'll just blow a big hole, which I've done a lot. That's all there is to that. It ain't pretty, but it gets the job done. So, I'll finish welding this up. Alright, I got it all welded up, as you can see. It's not pretty, and it's not supposed to be. You want pretty? I don't know what to tell you. So, what we're going to do now is grind that all down. It's a little warm yet, so it'll be fine. Darn it! Oh, it's a long way down. Put this on. I'm going to go sit down for this one.
More exciting news. 1950 Mercury block is back from the machine shop. There's the heads, new pistons. Set y'all up, get it unloaded and back on the stand. Alright, fresh in the bag. Got our bolts. It looked easy, but we haven't put anything else on the engine stand since we took it to the machine shop, so all the settings were the same. Heads got milled, surfaced, whatever you want to call it. We'll have to check the clearances with clay and everything. I'll have to call them back and ask how much they took off. I forgot to ask. Maybe it's on the paperwork. Both got done though. Looks good. Alright, like magic, we're back over here. Go ahead and take the bag off. We're going to put it back on in just a minute. But all clean. New cam bearings. Put a plug in the back, which I would have done too, or in the front rather. Looks good from this angle. I'll show you what we got. They put that new plug in, which I'll double check it. Looks like some more stuff's floating out of the water jackets, but it's going to get cleaned maybe 2 more times before I'm done with it. But I mean, these jackets were amazingly clean anyway, and I mean, I was amazed at how clean they were. Now they've been there, so been through the cleaner, so stuff's just broken loose, and that's okay. There's the cam bearings installed down there from the machine shop. I was going to do it, but they always end up doing stuff like that. Alright, set you up. I'll turn it over and we'll look at the bores. I hadn't put any kind of measuring device on them. They had the pistons. They bored them to size 30 over, which I hadn't done the math, but that's just a little bit bigger as far as total cubic inches. Everything's clean, ready to go. Hey, looks like they put in a new guide. I thought I was going to have to do that. That's the fuel pump rod goes up and down in there, and I took it out because you're supposed to. I was going to put a new one in. Looks like they already did it. Good for them. They did not surface these. The block, which is supposed to be a last resort. Apparently the flathead block surfaces are thin. You know, so if you go start taking material off of them, you run into problems with the head bolts pulling out. So we didn't want them to, and they didn't. So that's the only reason you do it is if it's absolutely necessary. But apparently they were flat because they checked them. So next up, we'll do some valve grinding, and then we'll clean everything, and then we'll do some pre-fitting and put the heads on here with the pistons and make sure nothing's going to hit with pistons and some valves, at least to check them. We may not have the full spring set up, but we can put the valves in there and lift them up. We can't do that till we get the cam. I'm just talking anyway, but regardless, valve grinding is next, and these look pretty good. We're mainly going to just barely touch them and then do some lapping with the new valves. So, real exciting, moving right along. I know Ward's been doing some work on the final detail work on the doors. We got some painting to do on the frame and axles and parts of axles, spindles, brake backing plates. There's a whole bunch of exciting stuff going on with all that, and we'll get into it when we get all the parts out and start looking at them. But for now, there's a freshly machined flathead block ready for the next phase. See y'all later. Thanks for watching.